Hey guys, THUNDERSTUD here, and I'm finally getting back to Bujin. So we got all sorts of Bujin support. We got the Xyzs Bujin monsters. So what took me so long? Why did I not do Bujins? Well, let me tell you guys, I only had one copy of Yamato. I never played Bujins. You've never really seen me make a video of them. Sure, maybe I have at one point, but nothing really. I've never had the cards. So I had one Yamato coming into this. It was a nightmare. I had to dig for a second Yamato, and then I used my super rare dream ticket on a third Yamato. So that's definitely core. You need 3 Yamato for this deck to work at all, or it's just not going to work. So he's a very important card. Another very important card I had none of is Crane. So now I got Bujin Crane, and you want more Crane. So if you have 3 Crane, put more Crane in there. You want Crane in your hand. You want to draw it so your opponent doesn't know you have it, and it'll single-handedly win you duels. It'll double the original attack of your monster. Very, very strong card. But I only have one. That's kind of okay because you can search it. But like I said, you want 3. You really want 3. But 3 Yamato, don't even bother if you don't have 3 Yamato. I really had to work hard for these 3 Yamato, but they make the difference, guys. So Bujins, what do we have? We have Beast Warrior Bujins, who are our main boys, and then we have a bunch of Beast and Wing Beasts. I think Crane's the only Wing Beast. Yeah, everything else is a Beast, and they all have effects from the graveyard. So Hair can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. That's from the graveyard. He banishes himself. Quillen, he will destroy a monster, it's a target, and they have to be face up. But we're still running 2 of them, very nice. Then we have Sinew. Target a monster you control, it gains attack equal to the current attack of the opponent's monster you're battling until the end phase. It halves your damage, but it still helps you swing right over anything. We're running one of that. We are running Centipede. Centipede destroys back row. We're running the new Fox. Fox makes you take no damage this turn. And then we have Turtle, who makes it so you can't be targeted. So, what it does, they all do it from the graveyard, guys. Banish Hair from the graveyard, can't be destroyed. Banish Quillen from the graveyard, you destroy a monster. Banish Sinew from the graveyard, you gain the attack of the monster you're attacking. Banish Centipede, you destroy some back row. Banish Fox. Fox actually makes you send a Bujin from your hand to the graveyard too, but it'll just make it so you don't take any damage whatsoever. And then Turtle really only activates when you're targeted. You negate the effect and then destroy it. So those are your boys. Crane doesn't do anything from the graveyard. Crane is actually a hand trap that will double your monster when he's attacked into or when you're attacking. So that gives us full use of cards that send to the graveyard, and you guys know these cards very well by now, I'm sure. That's Karmika and Ultimate Providence. They are fantastic in the meta right now, and they really work well with Bujins because you can use your cards in the graveyard. It works out pretty well. So you want to start with Yamato or with Mika, but obviously that's not going to happen. Mika's pretty cool because if you lose one of your Bujin monsters, you can special summon this boy from your hand, 1900. But the point is Xyzs, guys. We're in the Xyz era. We got some new Bujin Xyz support. We have Tsukuyomi. He's not really the one you want to use. He's pretty cool in other decks. But anyway, you detach one piece of material and discard your entire hand. So you generally want to do it when you only have one card in your hand. And if you do, you draw 2 cards. So when this card leaves the field, because of an opponent's card effect, you can target a level 4 Beast Warrior Bujin in your graveyard up to the number of material this card had on the field. Special summon those targets. So he's not your bread and butter. Your bread and butter is Susan. Susan here, this card attacks all monsters your opponent controls once each, 2400. It's already really good. Once per turn, you detach a piece of material from this card. Take one Bujin monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Very, very strong effect. You can only do that once per turn. So he's generally the boy you're going after. But of course, we have all those other boys in our pocket. We have Utopia. We have this. It's actually a card trader card. He takes 3 level 4 monsters, but he's 2950, which I do believe is the strongest Xyzs monster we have right now. So that's definitely worth a slot. We have Gaga Samurai. Tie the Sap Bind makes this boy a potential OTK if your opponent has an open field. So he's worth it in this kind of deck. And then we have Cowboy, who can swing over stuff pretty easy and do a little bit of damage when he needs to. Not your bread and butter. Like I said, you want a Susan or a Samurai. That's generally what you're playing with. Utopia is always a good play too. And last but not least, we have Bujin Carnation. I was trying out 3 copies of this card, but it was usually just dead in my hand kind of stuff. But if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can target 1 Bujin monster in your graveyard and 1 banished Bujin. Remember, they all banish from the graveyard, so you're fine. You summon them both. You can only bring out a Susan or a Tsukuyomi after you do, because it requires your Xyz monster to be a Bujin Xyz monster. And you can only control, or no, yeah, that's basically it. So Ties That Binds helps this out, helps these little boys get bigger, helps this boy get bigger, helps this boy OTK, and then you just have great back row. And it's all the Bujins really are is just knowing the utility and what you're gonna need on a duel in the graveyard, because Yamato lets you pick and choose. It works out pretty well. But they're strong, guys. They're sneaky. A lot of people still don't know how to fight them because they're not a super popular archetype. I don't think they're going to be like super meta or anything. But they can hold their own. They can probably cog. It wouldn't be a fun cog, I'd say. But they can probably do it. So finally getting to Bujins, guys. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Okay, here we are facing Dapper Mokuba. We're going second. This deck, I'd say, generally wants to go first. You want to get that Yamato, you want to set up that graveyard, all that good stuff. So we have Bujin Carnation, we have our Quillen and our Centipede. That's a monster, that's some back row, can't get any simpler than that. We are fighting Dark Magician due to that Dark Magical Circle. He set a monsters, probably Robe, set a back row. We're going to Ties That Bind, because now he gets 2k right into a Robe, so we don't take any damage, and of course Yamato's effect goes into play. We search the Crane, keep the Crane in our hand, throw the Centipede away. Now next turn we'll be able to use Centipede to destroy some back row. Now our boy sets another card. It's our turn. Like I said, we're going to use that, or I guess we're going to summon Quillen first. Now we use that Centipede to destroy that back row. All these monsters we're going to Xyz summon. Beautiful, beautiful animation. Right into our Susan. We keep our Yamato. He's got a Fiendish Chain our Susan. That's okay. Bring out a Dark Illusion. That's also okay. We're going to Ties That Bind. Susano can throw our Quillen to the graveyard still, even though his effect is negated. So he can use Quillen. Destroy that Dark Illusion. Now he's going to Regeki Break in a Dark Magician. Interesting. Destroys our Yamato. Not a big deal because we have another Yamato. So Susano throws away our turtle. That means we're not going to be able to be targeted. Switch him to defense because why not? Now he's bringing out a Dark Magician. No problem for us. We bring out our Yamato. Ties That Bind again. Swing at that Dark Magician. Hit him with Crane. That's 1100 damage to the dome. And Yamato's effect still gets to go. We bring out a Sinew. Throw him to the graveyard. Boy's still coming at us. He's got Magician's Rod. Searches Dark Magical Circle. Uses that Dark Magical Circle. Searches a Navigation. Sees you later on that Rod. So he'll be able to have his combo next turn. We got to get over this rope quick. And Fox will help us with another Xyz summon, guys. This time Gaga Samurai. We're going to get right over him at 2100 with that Ties That Bind. So we'll swing over the robe, then swing again, bringing our opponent down to just 800 life points. Very, very close. But now remember, he already has the navigation, so he gets to summon the Magician's Rod you see later on. Brought out Illusion Magic. Uses that Illusion Magic because he needs a slot for the navigation. That's why Fiendish Chain is kind of a suspect card to put in a Dark Magician deck as well. We know exactly what that is. We know exactly what he's trying to do, but we already have an out. So see here, I'm running 3 Bujin Carnation, but they're kind of bricky. Here he uses that navigation. He's going to try to hit Samurai, I believe. Robo special summon. No, he hits our face down. Very interesting. Sets another back row. Samurai says, no, you attack me. Switches to defense. Then he destroys our Susan. Get a Yamato. We're going to try to use Bujin Incarnation. He will have 1 navigation to negate it. But we obviously had 2 from the start of the duel. Didn't need the 3. Just the 2 would be fine. Bring out our Susan back. Bring out Quillin. Normal summon Yamato. That's Tsukiyomi. We only have 1 card in our hand. We don't need that Bujin reincarnation. So we're going to draw 2. We get Mika. Mika is going to be useful because if either of them are destroyed, Mika will come back out. We used our Sinnoh over that Dark Magician. Get up to 5.1k on that Susan. Crazy, crazy stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing Zayn. Usually always means Cyber Dragons. He does know things like Heavy Starter and stuff, though, so it could be anything. Starting with Yamato, that's all you really want. Yamato and Crane in your starting hand is just absolutely deadly. We are, in fact, fighting Cyber Dragons. He starts with a double Veer, double back row set. We top deck a Karma Cut. Summon that Yamato. We bluff our Bujin Incarnation and set our Karma Cut. He goes right into his Cyber Load Fusion. Brings out his Rampage. But we get to use Yamato. We search a rabbit, throw a rabbit away. Remember, we have Crane. He's going to try to attack a bunch. Brings out a Veer. That's Crane time, guys. We get up to 3,600, 1,500 damage on that boy. We have a Fox. That's going to save us from damage if we need it. Susano. We search our Mika. Throw away our Fox. Ties that binds over the Veer. 900 damage. That gives him 2 instances of Cyber Style, but he chooses not to use them. We get a Sinnoh. We're going to use Centipede, though. Here he's going to Overflow. All we got to do is use our hair now. And that's going to protect our Susan from destruction, from 1 instance of destruction. But that's all you need from that Cyber Dragon attack. Great, great stuff, guys. Alright, here's an Arcana. We're going second. Boys using Vampires. I don't think I have that mat. That's like a what's the racing event called? That's from like the racing event, the 5D stuff. But anyway, let's see what he's got. He's going Karakuri. Goes with his Merchant into Kunam Zan. Brings out that Kunam Zan. Goes for that Beret. Beret brings out a Ninashi. That lets him no follow-up, just 3 back row. Interesting. So we top deck a Yamato. That's all you need in life. We're going to use Ties Up Binds so we can swing at this Ninashi. Let her switch to defense and we don't take any damage. Mostly just to fill out that back row. And it was, in fact, bad aim. So nothing on attack, but on our Yamato's effect activation, he destroys our Karma Cut. But we get to throw away our Turtle. Boy can't draw. Swings right into a Crane. Probably regretting that heavily. Takes 1k damage. And we're right back into it. Now we're going to normal summon the Centipede. Go for our Xyzs. That's going to be a Susan. We can throw our Centipede away. Then hit some back row. We're going to do just that. Now he's trying to use Karakuri Cash In, but wait a second. We already have a Turtle waiting for you. Turtle's going to negate it. Now she'll have to flip to attack when she gets attacked. Centipede destroys that last bit of back row. He's got a Forbidden Lance our boy, but that's no big deal. Quillin will destroy that monster for us. Ties that bind back up to 1,700. He has no cards, guys. He has literally no cards on the field, in his hand. Nothing he could do. Top deck and scoop. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing an Arcana. Going second. Boys using the Planetara mat and the Burst sleeve. Pretty cool. Or what was her name? I know it's Sarah, but I don't know what her alter ego is supposed to be called. Starts with a Raiden. Mills a few cards. Nothing worth mentioning. We get our Yamato out. Search a Crane. Throw away our Turtle. Now he can't be targeted. Throws away a few more cards. Mills a Prismatic Floodgate. Pretty interesting. Also a Matchlice Fusion. Probably not what he's trying to do. We bring out our hair. Hair protects us from destruction. We get a gorgeous Xyzs summoning animation. And we get our Susan. He's going to try to Karma Cut Susan, and Turtle says no. Threw away an Invoke to do it. But Turtle saved us, so that means Susan can throw away the hair, search a Mika, ties that bind, swing over that Raiden, no problem. Now it's up to our opponent to answer back, and remember we can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. We get a Karma Cut of our own, normal summon our Mika, search another Centipede now. Kind of a misplay. I remember with Susan you can add to your hand or throw it to the graveyard. Had we thrown to the graveyard, we could have attacked that back row immediately. Doesn't come back to bite us because the back row's not really anything. He had a set Alistair, so he gets an invocation of his own. Also forgot to Ties That Bind. No real point to not do that. Keeping the Centipede in your hand is okay because I was generally going to use it for the Karma Cut and then have him in the graveyard anyway. But use Ties That Bind, so great stuff, guys. Alright, here's Zayn, another Zayn. Going first. This deck probably wants to go first, I would say. We got a Mika, we got a Yamato. As long as you're starting with Yamato, you're going to have a good duel. So we play our Yamato, search our Crane, throw away our Fox. So a savvy player would realize we have the Crane, but you know, people aren't paying that close attention. Our boy Cosmic Cyclone's our Karma Cut, that's not good. Brings out a Cyber Dragon and swings with the lone Cyber Dragon. That's really good because we have Bujin Crane, guys. Already brings that boy within 1500. All we'd have to swing is with Yamato. Great, great stuff, guys. So Bujins are pretty cool. I honestly hadn't played Bujins very much and never had much Yamato. Was never much interest in the Archetype. Now they have their boss monsters. Probably some of the stronger Xyzs monsters. Right next to Stellar Knights. So Bujins are right there, guys. They're a cool Archetype because they get by without their boss monster a little better than even Stellar Knights do. Stellar Knights really go for that counter trap if they're not doing Xyz summons, but Bujins can swing at you without their Xyz. So they're like a full Archetype, but they're monster heavy, graveyard heavy. So there are ways around that. Super cool stuff. You need more Crane. Get more Crane if you don't have more Crane. You absolutely need the Yamatos. Don't even start if you don't have the Yamatos. But try to get more Crane if you love the Archetype, and it should work out great. Thanks for watching, guys.